buttons are turned on.
I'm not very
Okay.
This
is a technical thing, you know. So what you're about to see, ladies and gentlemen, you've never seen before. You have a program to explain exactly what's going to happen in front of your eyes.
Oh, okay.
Share the one there for 3 people. I'll lend you mine. Here you go. Stop visuals. See the picture on the front cover? It's different to the one on the back cover. There you go.
This is the Tuscany emergency broadcasting system.
I don't need it.
They printed that so that those people who are accustomed to reading don't have to look, they can just read.
This is a Tuscany emergency broadcasting system. Just need to know if the mic is working.
That could be a real emergency.
Okay. Janet, the stage is yours.
Try to remember your breathing exercises. Inhale. Exhale. The drive-by media, talking heads hurl insults, hatred for either contender for the next president of the United States. See the screen's ticker of the number of dead from the last mass shooting. Fort Myers, Dallas, Nice, Orlando, San Bernardino, Sandy Hook. Try to remember to focus on your breathing. Inhale, exhale. The past floods you. Boston, Columbine, Waco, Wisconsin's Sikh temple. This breathing alone doesn't take on terror. When strikes hit Egypt, remember the Egyptian goddess Isis, patronage of nature and wisdom. Her crown was actually a throne, a seat for her child, the pharaoh. She listened to the prayers of the aristocrats, the wealthy, the rulers. But she was also friends to the downtrodden, the sinners, and the slaves. Goddess of rebirth, Isis was the first child of the gods of earth and sky. Isis was also goddess of reincarnation and the protector of the dead. Isis's magic spells and rituals were revered for protection and healing. You know, this breathing is getting easier now. Inhale, exhale. But it angers me how her name's been usurped by terrorists who kill. And sure, Isis was worshipped in pagan religions, but Iraq and Syria took her name and changed the meaning from another god to cause chaos, spread their hatred, and slaughter the masses with impunity. Wait a minute. Get back to breathing. Inhale. Exhale. Because Islamic State of Iraq and Syria may mean evil. But these terrors will never win when you have earth and sky on your side. Because peace isn't magic when health and protection are on your side. Thanks to the better Isis, with nature and wisdom as rule. I tell you, remember to keep your breathing. Inhale. Exhale. Because of history's battles for the Isis name, remember the legacy of true peace and love with the Isis goddess, that will always win. I saw a 22-year anniversary CC&D issue book titled Invisible Ink. And it had editorials about peace with animals and being a vegetarian, and it made me think about the history of mankind on planet Earth. Because during the Middle Ages, that is when people started raising animals for food. And once they did that, infections moved from animals to humans. Translation? When they started actually trading animals as livestock for mass consumption, that's when plagues came on the scene, killing massive portions of the population. So fast forward to meat production today, where people cut corners with how they treat the animals so that they can produce more meat to feed a larger population, and of course have higher profits. And I get it, you know, taking things and making them on a mass scale means cutting corners, but oftentimes people forget what they sacrifice for the final bottom line and a higher profit. Think of it now. How many times have we heard that, say, salmonella has caused a whole shipment of food to go bad, so check the codes on the back packages of the processed food that you make so that it's actually safe? Or how many times have we heard that another animal with mad cow disease has been found? So if anyone bought meat from restaurant X, or if they purchased meat from Y grocery store, well, don't eat what you paid for, and if it's consumed, make sure, if you consumed any meats from X, check to make sure you don't have symptoms Y or Z. And think of it this way. China lived with plenty of protein and no real red meat, and they never had any problems with their diets until they adopted a Western fast food diet. And that's when they started getting the heart attacks and the type 2 diabetes, living the American dream. Right now, Americans eat more protein, but your body can't process excess protein, so it actually pulls the calcium away from your bones in order to get extra meat throughout your body, so it will actually escape. And who knows, maybe that's why more and more people are getting osteoporosis right now. Globally, we could be feeding 17 times more people with the same resources used for meat production, and that's not even a moral argument, that's just a more peaceful one. Because really, less killing and more peace, it's healthier for you too. I had a dream the other night. I walked out of the city to a farm road where the square acres on living land just started to bloom, displaying a colorful checkerboard quilt as far as the eye could see. I walked along the empty road next to the crops at 3000 South, and a small little pig walked right up to me. Now, this little pig didn't look like a farm pig. He looked like a 10-inch pot-bellied pig. And he walked right up to me and he said, "Thank you for not using cosmetics that have been tested on animals. I know you humans are pretty smart. You've got to be able to figure out a way to make yourselves pretty without killing me." And I said, "I don't think that companies worry about the animals unless the chemicals are toxic, which means it's toxic for humans." The little pig then snorted. "Which lives are worth saving?" the little pig then said. "And cutthroat corporations don't answer questions like that," I answered. And he said, "I know, but thank you anyway." Yeah, I had a dream the other night. I walked out of a city to a forest, and there were neatly paved bicycle paths, and trash cans every 50 feet, and trash every 10. And then a raccoon came right up to me. She had a few little baby raccoons following her. Oh my gosh, it was so cute. I wish I had my camera. And she walked right up to me and she said, "Thank you. Thank you for not buying furs. I know you humans are pretty smart. You've got to be able to figure out a way to keep yourselves warm without killing me." And I said, "You know they don't do it for warmth. They do it for fashion. They do it for power." And she said, "I know, but thank you anyway." And then I walked a little further, and there was a stray cat. And she still had her little neon collar on with a little bell. And she walked a few feet, stretched her front paws. Oh, she looked so darling. And then she walked right up to me and she said, "Thank you." And I said, "For what?" And she just looked at me for a moment. Her little ears were standing straight up. And she said, "You know, in some countries, I'm considered a delicacy. And I said, how do you know of these things? And she said, when somebody eats one of you, word gets around. And then she looked up at me for a moment, and then she said, and in some countries, the cow is sacred. Wouldn't they love to see how you humans prepare them for slaughter? How you hang them upside down and slit their throats so their still beating hearts will drain out all the blood for you. She said, isn't it funny how arbitrary your decision to eat meat is? And I said, don't put me in that category. I don't eat meat. And she said, I know. And then I woke up in a sweat. I listened to a hunter in Africa say, all life is sacred. And he said that after separating a small, non-venomous snake from around a large African hawk-like bird's neck. Because you see, the bird attacks snakes, but that snake wouldn't eat this large bird once it had died. That would be a senseless death. All life is sacred, you say. So I couldn't help but think, as a hunter, do you pray for the sacred dead after you've killed it? I mean, I don't usually vocalize when I get on a high horse like this. But I've had to explain myself to meat-eaters that, no, these aren't leather shoes I wear. I'm a vegetarian, though I still have to feign a smile and commiserate with the men eating slaughtered animal. Because, see, I'd look like a fool for having beliefs. People don't want to hear a moral choice of something different from their own. I mean, we're Americans. If it's not human, or maybe a dog or a cat, eat it. It's that simple. But I married a hunter, a Marine, who served our country, and he told me that every time he killed an animal, a part of him felt a regretful twinge of pain whenever he killed his prey. A prey that he searched for, with the weapon that he could use before anything got close enough to be an enemy. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm getting on my high horse again. It's convenient that people can get their kill from the grocery store without getting any blood on their hands. Anything to stop people from thinking about what they're doing. Because I've heard that killing something makes you feel something. And I thought, thank you. I even have a fish on me.
There better not be any meat in that buffet.
Oh, we got special
I'm
ham
not one to
hocks, we
judge.
got jelly, we got pig, you name it, we got all.
Ham hocks, I'm hoping.
Elk?
Give me some
Rattlesnake?
venison.
Yeah, you would. Maybe late, sure. Okay. Now, it's come to my attention that we are living human beings with a real choice to listen to each other. And the opportunities for this is so rare. And you remind me of things all the time when you work. We have people from other places, and they report back on these other places and say, we don't have this stuff in, well, Brisbane, where I come from, Sydney, where I lived, Oklahoma, a place like that. They don't have this. They have slam and they have competition, but they don't have listening circles. So let's use every bit we've got, right?